Shut up and sit down.
But I swear to God, at one point, on the radio or like whatever they were playing, I heard BTS and I was like, it's a sign. It's just a sign. But then it turned off. Welcome back to another episode of The Bias Effect. It's your girl, Nikki.
It's your girl, QJ.
And we're back for another episode of The Bias Effect. We are so pumped. We are going to talk about BTS solos, because they all have some solos of some capacity. I think about most of the groups we listen to, it's probably the only group, like major group we listen to, that has that many solos from all the members.
I mean, the Shinee guys have a lot of solos.
True. This is true. But there are also like 4 members.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a lot of albums. I think like Taemin has like 6 albums alone.
Really?
Yeah, he has so many.
Oh my!
I didn't even listen to all of
know
them.
that.
Like I tried to do a bit of a dive into Shinee. I couldn't even listen to all of Taemin's albums. He has so many.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that he had that many. And then yeah, I know. Listen back to our episode, but you bought a.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mino has like 2 solo albums, and I bought his like little tiny mini one.
It still makes me laugh. It's so funny. But anyway, so yes, we're gonna talk about solos, mostly BTS.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we said, have delved into just a bit of solos again.
Yeah, I think like I don't get the impression that you listen to a lot of solos.
Yet, clearly now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like
no,
in
you're
general,
right. You're the solo girly for sure.
Yeah, I felt like I was like kind of like trying to take a peek in some of them, but you were mostly still doing groups, which is like fine. I just an observation.
And
but didn't you listen to Onu's solo?
Yes, his first album.
Oh,
I did.
okay.
And I loved it.
Yeah, his album's really great. I also surprisingly really like Key's solo stuff. It's very much like a vibe.
Yeah, I will dig into more of those. Well, I generally, okay, I'll yeah, since we're talking about solos.
Let's get into it.
We'll get into it. I just genuinely didn't think they were going to be that good of music. Truly. I just didn't think it was going to be that way.
I mean, that's fair. Even the solos I've listened to, it's hit or miss for me. I don't really like all of the ones I listen to.
Yeah, and it's very fascinating to me because we'll talk way more in depth about the BTS ones, but I can definitely see by listening to their music who's the one that writes music and who doesn't write, like, music. Like, people could write lyrics, but, like, you could tell who's a composer and who, like, builds music, and those are the ones I'm more drawn to, where I was not expecting it at all from some of them too. I was like, whoa, this is the type of solo music you're doing? That's insane. That's the other interesting thing to see too with the solos, and I'm sure it's like that with other bands, where it's kind of very different vibes than the actual group music, which is interesting, or it's very one-to-one with the group music. So
I found like, yeah, I think it kind of depends on the person, I think, because I would definitely say it's pretty one-to-one. I listened to Minhyuk's solo from BTOB, and like to me it sounded like BTOB music, like slightly different but pretty similar. But then I don't know, I'm not that deep into GOT7, but I thought Jackson Wang's solo was a bit different from the GOT7 vibe. So yeah, I think it's like kind of.
And it's funny because I know you said I'm not really into solos, which is true, but I'm getting more into it. But it's a solo song got me into a whole band. Kai's song Rover, I was like obsessed with, and then I was we should get into EXO or take a look at EXO because they were the same era as BTS.
Yeah.
So. More age-appropriate group, too.
And Kai's back.
I know! Kai just came back from service, so exciting. So yeah, I gotta get into all of it. I did go through and listen to all of EXO's band music, like all their group albums. I like them. They're I wouldn't say like my mind's blown like BTS or anything like that, but they're good. They have some really good jams. There's a couple albums that I really like that I can see purchasing. But then, so they also have a bunch of solos, and I loved that.
Yeah, I really like that Kai song too. The song Rover. I really like that one too. I kind of want to listen to his is on my list to
Solo.
listen to his solo thing, especially now that he's
Yeah.
back. And I think his comeback thing is just gonna be a solo thing, at least right now. I don't really know
Yeah.
I don't know the state of EXO right now, but I know now that he's out of service, I know he's doing a solo comeback soon.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, exactly. I feel like it's so soon. I'm like, sir, you just got out of the
Yeah, like take a
military. You're like,
break.
I'm back.
Vacation,
You're like, no, I'm
man.
back, baby. I missed my true love of music or whatever. So, yeah, and I'm just a general note of solos. I'm really curious to see what happens with Stray Kids. Yeah, I feel like their solo music could be real good.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do. Like, I don't want to think about service era Stray Kids, but I wonder what they're gonna do.
I know, especially because Felix and Bangchan
Yeah, they're
are
not going.
exempt, so they don't need to go. So exactly, so there could always be a little bit. The band I'm the most worried about, ATEEZ.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but anyway, that's a total sidetrack. But I would be excited for any of their solos.
Oh yeah, I would listen to any of them for sure.
Right there. Because it's an interesting thing we noticed when we were looking into this, that there are some fans out there that like, you cannot like the solo music.
Yeah. I don't yeah. I don't jive with that.
What is that? I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I find that very odd to me.
Yeah, so it's like no solo stands people, and if you, I don't know, like if you say, I don't even really understand the concept of it. If you like a solo thing, then you're like not a real
Which is
fan.
like, what are you talking about?
How's that a thing? Like, doesn't that make me more of a real fan?
That's what I would say. To me, what we've just done with BTS, for this episode, we listened to all their solo music. Or at least I did. I'm pretty sure you did.
I think
too.
I got everything.
Oh god. Yeah, so we did, and I would argue that means I mean,
yeah, I'm not gonna get into who's a bigger fan or whatever, but like it makes me appreciate them as a whole more.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
And I want to support whatever they do. Like, I don't understand it because it's like a lot of the solo stuff was during military era, not for everyone. Like J-Hope and August E were before, and I think RM as well, but like it seemed like V and Jimin and Jin, these were like military era solos. And like, what did you want them to do? Fall off the face of the earth? While some of them are in military, nobody else can make music?
Yeah.
You didn't want to see Jungkook while everyone was in military? You didn't want to see Seven? You didn't want that?
Girl.
Like, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense to me. Like, if anything, I'm like, this is perfect because now you're kind of extending your BTS like consumption.
And yeah, and as a fan of them all individually, I appreciate them more, and it's nice to see them grow as an artist.
Yeah, that was gonna be my second point, is like it's growth.
Yeah.
So when they come back together as a group, they all have done their own experience in music that they're gonna bring to the group again. So it's gonna be even more elevated.
And if maybe the theory of these fans that are like saying no solo standing is that they feel like that's encouraging them not to come back to the band form. Sure, but like BTS specifically are
they are never gonna do that. They're like, we're gonna be BTS till we're 80 years old, okay?
Especially this post-ARMY, like they have not stopped talking about it since, I think, was Jin the first one? I feel like they've talked about it since Jin went to ARMY. I forget who it first was, but yeah, and like they're obsessed with getting back together. So what are you talking about? Yeah. If anything, it's just, again, encouraging them more. I would think if you support them solo, I just think that supports them to, I don't know, whatever. That's my take on it.
I also just think, like, especially, and like with some of these older groups, like with GOT7 and BTOB, like you can't, 5, 6, 7 people are not gonna have the same life goals forever. So in theory, like someone's gonna want to take a step back or whatever at some point. So if they do that, you just want nothing.
Yeah, just it's over.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I would rather the members that want to keep making music, and I'll keep listening and supporting. And then like they come together and do their little, like, group thing every once in a while when they feel like it. I don't know. This just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't want my groups to fall off the face of the earth because one guy's like, I need a break or whatever.
Yeah, that was my other point in my brain too. It was like, they love music, or like so you want them to not do what they love. That also seems like kind of
unless
rude.
They're doing it together and like all or nothing.
Yeah,
like,
that seems so
of course
rude
I want to
me.
see BTS first,
obviously,
but I don't not want to see the other ones.
But yeah, after listening through all their music, I was like, this is like really good. Like I'm, like you said, it kind of gets me way more excited for BTS's comeback too. I'm like, They're gonna all come back together.
Yeah, I'm like so curious, and because a lot of times too in their concerts they do like OT7 versions of solo songs. So like think of all the solo songs that they've released since. Like imagine all 7 of them
Oh,
doing 7.
girl, that's don't even. Are
Like
you
you know what I'm
kidding
saying?
me? Shut.
Because they did it like they've done like a 7 version of Tachita,
Mm.
and I think a J-Hope song as well, like in their history.
Shut the fuck up, though. I can't even. Why did you even put that in my brain? 7 as OT7? Like,
I don't imagine, but I'm saying, like, I feel like they
insane.
do that in their shows sometimes. So it's like, why wouldn't you want that? I want to see
Oh
that.
my god, that would be crazy, bro. Okay, so what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so well, we wanted to touch a little on solos in general, but the fact that the only solos you've listened to are all of the BTS ones, like top to bottom, we thought maybe we would deep dive into those ones specifically. Just in case anyone's wondering why we never stop talking about BTS.
I know. I mean, they're iconic. They're the main pack of out there. And the other bands, at least I listen to, don't have too many solos right now. So, but what we're gonna do, so we're gonna go through each member in band order, which from what I've seen is leader and then age order.
Okay, so RM and then age.
Yeah, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and then Jungkook. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rate them in our personal 1 to 7 rating. Again, we're just doing this because it's fun.
It's just for fun.
It's for funsies.
They're all number 1.
Yeah, exactly. So don't take it any kind of way, anyone out there. Hey, if you want to comment below your order, absolutely please do. Would love to hear it.
And then you did a little extra research that I'm excited to hear.
I know, I did. Yes. So what I've done is I broke it down each member. I've labeled out their first release, the albums, and the year they released, their top songs on Spotify, which I think will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is only Spotify again. This is not, and it's just how many plays. Yeah, how many plays they have, and then we were gonna do our top songs, like maybe 2 to 3 songs that we love the most from their solos.
I tried to keep mine to top 3, but obviously
I know there's
the people know that there's some struggles in here.
For real, honestly, there were some struggles for me to even get one. We'll get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with RM. So he started his first solo release was a single in 2017 called Change, and it was 4 years after debut. Then he had 3 albums called Mono in 2018, Indigo in 2022, and Right Place, Wrong Person 2024. Great album. His top songs on Spotify are Wildflower with Eugene at 280,000. I have the exact number, but let's just round up. Which I believe is from Indigo. And then the second song is Soul, and that's from Mono. And his third song is Never Play featuring him.
The Megan Thee Stallion
Megan Thee Stallion song. It is the highest, and it's technically solo. So it's under his solo page on Spotify, so that's why I count it. My top songs were Tokyo, which is from Mono, Lonely from Indigo. I did love Never Play, Megan Thee Stallion song. It's fire. I did really like I have like 5 songs. I really liked RM. Nuts from Right Place, Wrong Person, and I also did like Wildflower a lot. So
I almost put Nuts on my list, but I had Wildflower and Lonely. I loved Lonely as well. That song's so good.
So good.
And my third one was Groin.
Groin. Okay,
I thought that was a good song, but it's like, I hate the title.
Yeah. Okay.
But I almost had Nuts on there, and I don't know, I didn't really like the Megan Thee Stallion song. It wasn't really for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think it's interesting that he collabs with like big stars quite. Like he also did a version of Old Town Road with what's his name?
And Little Nas X.
Yeah. Like I feel like he does like songs with like popular like rap artists. Like I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, he did Erykah Badu as well on Indigo. Tableau, of course.
Obviously.
Tableau's which I also love that song. It's a great song all day.
Like his general like that vibe of his albums was very like it felt very like indie to me. I felt like I was listening to like indie music. So it was like so different, like to what
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
expecting.
So for me, while I was first going through this, we all know RM's my bias, so he was number one for me for the longest time when going through this, but I had a switch later on. I had a switch later on, so RM's currently my number two,
Mm.
but it was so close for me. He was number one for so long because for me, like we just said, I was so blown away. I was so blown away by his sound. I was not expecting it at all. And like right place, wrong person's kind of like this, like almost like industrial type vibe.
Yeah.
And like I just like a funky, jazzy-ish. I was just like, what am I listening to? This is amazing. And again, when we were talking about at the beginning of the episode, like he clearly like knows how to write music and compose things together. I was, and Indigo was great too. Loved it. I have a lot of songs that I like off that one. But again, more like indie mellow type vibe. So yeah, so that was like my biggest thing. I was like, oh my god, he was one for so long, but then we'll get into it. But like the person I had to exchange with, like overall had a better not better, but a more of a theme to their music. Anyway,
I had a hard time doing like 1 to 7 specifically. I have like 3 people in the number 4 spot, and one of them's RM.
okay.
Because like I don't mind indie music, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah, no, that's...
So like to me, I was like you said, like it's clearly a very well composed and like perfectly done album. It's just like not. I wouldn't put it on to like pump myself up, you know. I would put it on if I was like sad.
We're ending this call.
If I wanted
okay?
to listen to like sad
we're
stuff.
Done. We're done. I can't talk. No.
I knew that yours it was gonna be up higher for you,
I know.
but it's more like I could tell that is your vibe when I was
Yeah.
listening to it, and I was like, this is where we're gonna have like dynamite discourse again, because now we're on the opposite sides.
No,
So like, not to say that it's bad, it's just like
No.
it was like
I
not
knew this
quite
coming
my
into
vibe.
this. When I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely more my vibe. And I knew he wasn't going to be as high for you, but I knew you'd at least respect the game.
Yeah.
That he was...
like his was actually one that I had to like really think about picking top 3 songs, because it also the albums felt like complete pieces to me.
Yes.
So it's like harder to pick one song out and be like,
Yeah.
I'll just listen to this. It's like I feel like you need. I had the same thought process with V's album as well, but we can talk about that after.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay. That is kind of what I figured. But yeah, I was like kind of heartbroken when I had to move him down 1, 2, because I really wanted him to be my number 1.
I think that's what's good about us as like consumers, is that we're not like blind.
No.
You know, like you see people sometimes where they like something and they're like, this is peak forever. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I won't give it any criticism. I won't think about anything else. But I feel like the way we consume music and any kind of content is like we view it through like a critical lens. I mean, we can enjoy it flat sometimes, but if we're thinking about in this kind of context where we're like, let's really think about what we like.
Yeah.
Like we're not tied by a bias, which is I think better.
I know. I was close. That's why I first RM was number 1. I was like, well, I mean, he's my bias anyway, so I've got to support him or whatever. But I genuinely do really enjoy like where he went with his music. And that, but then I was like, I think one person does sneak him up, so we'll move along. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up RM. He's obviously super talented and king. But yeah, definitely a way different vibe than BTS. So I could see where someone would listen to it and not maybe necessarily enjoy it as much as some of the other members.
Yeah, if you're like listening to it as a fan of BTS, hoping for more BTS, it's not really that vibe.
No, and you could see it in the Spotify, like the plays. Like, so his top song, Wildflowers, not only, but 280,000, and then Soul was 159, and then even Never Play, which is Bigger Than Stallion, was only 139,000. I will say only because you'll see later that some plays on some of these songs were insane.
Gets up there.
Okay, so number 2 for me and number 4-ish for you.
4-ish.
Okay, so next will be Jin, our boy Jin. So he's the oldest member, so he's next in line. So first release was it's a solo with V, so a duet, I guess. It's called It's Definitely You, which was Harang Part 2 OST.
Yeah, K-drama.
2016. So this was about but his first true solo, just him, was Tonight 2019, so 6 years after debut. For albums, he had a lot more singles, really, until 2024, which is his EP, Happy. So, but there's some banger singles out there, like The Astronaut, Super Tuna. I love Super Tuna.
Yeah, me too.
Such a jam. So yeah, his top songs on Spotify are The Astronaut at 570,000, Running Wild, which is from Happy, 264,000, and then his song with V from the OST, Harang, at 213,000. So for me, Jin was just mid for me.
Yeah, he's in my chunk of 4, because like it depends. Whatever mood I'm in, I could hit those two, and the third person I put there, I could switch them around. He's in my like level 4 level, because it's like soft, calm, happy, nice music.
So he's 6 for me. He was 6.
That's fair.
Yeah, I know. I loved him. Yeah, like there was I forget what song it was exactly, but he had like the lower tones of his voice, which is quite pretty, and Super Tuna is just such a bomb. I freaking love that song.
Yeah, Super Tuna is definitely my top 3.
Yeah, so I only have top 2 for Jin for me, and it's Super Tuna and I Will Come to You is such a sweet song, and that's from Happy.
I like Running Wild. That was like the first solo song I heard from him, and I thought it was just like his voice was unexpected to me in that song.
Oh,
like the lower tone of it. Yeah, I was like, I wasn't expecting it to sound like that. But I really like Running Wild, and I like obviously Super Tuna, and I also like I'll Be There, which is on Happy as well.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like another like pleasantly nice song.
Exactly. Like, again, for Jin, like what I was saying earlier, like I don't think I don't know if he wrote all those songs, but again, it's very like ballad song, suits his voice very well, and like you said, Running Wild, I think is the song that I was thinking of, that is different sides of his voice. He has to me, a beautiful voice, so it's nice to hear it, but yeah, I was like, there's nothing inherently new here in this music. It's kind of what I expected from Jin.
Yeah, like I put it into a playlist and I'll listen to it, but like again, like to listen to like the album like front to back, I would have to be like in the zone to listen. Like in the mood to listen to it.
Super Tuna? Yeah, that'll be on a revolving playlist. I always would listen to that song.
That song's so funny.
It's so funny. And okay, when I was doing the research for our last BTS video of the music videos, do you realize how many times BTS or solos have been on Jimmy Fallon? I was so shocked. Like, they've been on so many times. Yeah. I was flabbergasted by how much. But anyway, there was a clip of Jin doing the Super
Yeah, he's teaching him the dance, yeah.
Yeah, with Jimmy. And all the crowd would freak out because when he lifted his hands up, his, like, midriff was
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun, happy song. And then, like you said, if I'm in like a moody vibe or like lovesick vibe or something, like I Will Come to You and just be like, oh, it's so cute. So I think that wraps up Jin, right? Yeah,
there's not much to.
Yeah, it's not much. Okay. The next one we're gonna talk about. But then I feel like
I'll try not to spend too long on it.
So it's Suga or August D. And so yeah, his first release was actually a full album, which I was impressed. 2016, so 3 years after debut. Yeah, so he had 3 albums: August D, 2016, D2, 2020, and D-Day 2023. His top songs on Spotify don't really surprise me. Hagum, 495,000. I'm gonna butcher it. Yeah, Dachita, 382,000, and then People Part 2 featuring IU, 210,000. So Suga is my number 1 as well. I know he's yours.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely mine. So what I will say in my defense, because I know I just said that we look critically at music and we don't just blindly love. I actually listened to August D with you in mind, because people were saying like it's so good, like the rap, and I know you tend to like lean more towards rap, and you weren't really listening to solos, so I was like, let me listen to this, and like maybe if it's really good, then I'll be like, oh yeah, you would definitely like this. And then I listened to it and I was like, wait, I really like this. So like I organically like it became like my favorite like organically. I didn't set out to intend this to be my number one.
Well, that's why I was like, okay, I was going through it. Okay, side tangent, but I was listening to all of his albums, and again, he has a lot of music. Like, he has 3 like full albums basically.
Yeah.
And I was traveling to a dentist appointment, and I got stuck in traffic, and I was so pissed. And anyway, it was that listen through of D2 that was happening, so I was kind of missing the music a bit. So I was like, anyway, so I got distracted, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's great music, but I'm still my number one. And then I like re-listened to it all, and I was like, no, it has to be him, because again, the way he put his albums together, and there's so many songs where I genuinely feel different after listening to them, and I like think that's like the intention too of like music like that. Like D-Day, he talks about like life is going to be okay, and I'm like, I needed to hear that song. You know what I mean? And like I told you in the past, Amygdala like makes me want to cry every time I listen to it. And then the fact that he had clear concepts through all of it was really cool, and the fact that he even released under a completely different name was like truly like taking, like he's doing his own thing, and it was like so well done. And there's like he has like interludes too that are just like beautiful instrumentals, and I'm like, I'm going crazy. So when I really broke it down, re-listening, I said, yeah, there's like no way, he has to be number one again. So like we said, being critical, it makes sense why he's your number one too, because again, breaking it completely down was like, oh no, this is unbelievable. Like, this is amazing. And I have, again, this was the one where I was like, I don't know, I have like 7 songs. That's my favorite songs.
Like, every song is so good.
So I have, like 3 from each album pretty much. But like, Amygdala, D-Day, What Do You Think, August D, Burn It, So Far Away. Like, those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, I tried to take like the kind of like big song from the albums out of my picks. So like obviously Dashuta and Hegum and Augusti are like great songs, but those to me are like the main songs from those albums. I started out with good intentions to pick one song from each of his albums. So for August D, I picked Give It To Me. I like that song. It's a very like hard song. But then D2 I was like, I lost it already. I like What Do You Think as well.
Yeah.
But I also really like Moonlight, and I really like People.
Oh, People, yeah.
Part 1. People Part 2 is not on my list. It's a fine song, but it's like, it's okay. And then from D-Day, I like Huh with J-Hope.
Oh.
But I also like SLD, Snooze, D-Day, and Burn It.
Yeah.
And I also like Strange with RM.
Yeah. I mean, that album is an amazing album.
Yeah, I think the D-Day album is like,
it's so good.
Pretty much solid, like front to back.
Yeah, I have Snooze, like on my play forever list, I have, Snooze, I have the interlude again, that's what I was saying, this interlude is so gorgeous, like, it's such a beautiful song, and Amygdala is on that, and Hagum and D-Day, and I'm like, what are we talking about here, this album is amazing, so like, even though he is your bias, it's like, well, I mean, it's undeniable that he has to be at least in the top.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, honestly, that's how it evolved anyways, like, I listened to this solo, and then I was like, this is actually like really incredible, and then started like watching the videos and watching the documentary and stuff, and I was like, okay, he's a perfect human. And I love him.
Well, and too, my other friend who's really into K-pop, she was into BTS first, and she's not really a bias girly, like she doesn't really, but she really likes Yoongi, and she saw him twice live, so she showed me like early on like Hagum and
Dachita.
That like music videos like way before I knew who he was. I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Like, so I kind of knew he was, but anyway, now full circle, here we are. We all love you.
I thought that I figured that it would be kind of up your alley, because I find it's such a mix of music too. Like, he has like songs where he's just singing, but like the songs where he's rapping, and he raps like very fast and like clear and fast, and like, you know what I mean? I feel like you like that kind of rapping.
It's impressive.
In my past experience with you, there's been songs that have that kind of like really fast-paced kind of thing, and you're like those are songs that you played, and I was like, oh yeah, I feel like you'll definitely like this. But then if you listen to the whole album, it's like then there's like slow songs and
like, again, beautifully composed, just pure instrumentals, and I'm like, who's this man? Just like absolute music virtuoso, truly, to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, yeah, like Augusty, the actual song, yeah, that's the one where he raps like unbelievably fast, and a lot of people compare him to like Eminem levels. So all around, there's no denying it. I had to really face myself and say, nope, my bias is number 2 in the solo sphere. Yeah, and again, he's the one that, to me, out of all of them, like, just its own, truly its own, like, if you were like, oh, I like Augustine and had no idea he was in BTS, that would make sense on a level, like, you know, but, like, I could get,
I could totally see that. Like,
he would just be your own thing, totally.
Oh, well, he's perfect.
But that was my wild thing. That was my wild reveal for you, that he was actually my number 1 as well. I figured
I was curious because like we didn't talk too much about when you were going through that, like when we were both going through the souls. We weren't trying to like say too much about it, but I still knew like what you were listening to because you asked me like a question about J-Hope or like a question about Jin or something, or Jimin, and I was like, okay, I know you're listening to that time. The dead radio silence on the Augusty stuff, and I was like, you said you were going through it in order, and you had mentioned Jin, and then you had mentioned J-Hope, and I was like, okay, well, I know he's in the middle there, so. But it was like dead silent. I was like, either really hated it or really loves it.
That's so funny. I think because I had to go back to him as well. I had to like re-listen, and I think that was another reason why I was really struggling with him and RM, and so I had to like really dive in. But the other ones, it was very clear cut for me where they sat for me. So with that, let's go to the next one, who would be J-Hope. So he also released an album first, Hope World 2018, 5 years after debut. He had Hope World 2018, Jack in the Box 2022, and then he had a Hope Edition, which is a different release technically of Jack in the Box in 2023, and then Hope on the Street Volume 1 2024, which I guess is what he's touring with, and technically.
I think so.
For his top songs on Spotify, it is More from Jack in the Box, 288,000. Chicken Noodle Soup.
Yeah, that song's funny.
Featuring, it is funny. Becky G at 205,000. And then On the Streets with J. Cole, 202,000.
Interesting.
I know. I was shocked that Arson was not up there.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, okay, I'll just pull up Arson just to see, but it wasn't his top songs, that's for sure. Or at least by streamings. It's close though. 197,000. So it's like right up there.
Yeah.
For me, loved it. I love J-Hope.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I think we actually kind of started this solo thing because I mean you were sort of listening to RM, but also like you had sent me an August D reel, and you were like, what song is this? And it was the August D song, and I was like, full like biases aside, you should listen to August D and J-Hope albums, because I was like, I know you're gonna like them, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I was like, I was curious to see how J-Hope felt for you, because I was like, I feel like you'll like it.
I did. I love him.
It's a very fun rap.
It's fun. It's a funkier hip-hop vibe, too. Like, I can definitely see the old school hip-hop in it. It's very cool. I loved a lot of his raps. And, like, he has some really, like, beautiful songs, too. Like, Blue Light is a beautiful song. And it's just, like, a straight up, like, he's singing, I think, in it. And he's number 3 for me. Yeah.
He's number 2 for me.
Nice, yeah. So again, I have like 6 songs of his. I couldn't really narrow it down too much, but I did like More a lot. Arson was great. What If I like. Baseline, Hope World, On the Street I did like with J. Cole's version too. He also has his own single version, which is great. But yeah, I was like, I can't and there's another one I was listening, because I was listening to my BTS solo playlist this morning, and there was another one of his that came out. I was like, oh yeah, this one's sick too, but you say yours, and then I'll see if it comes up.
My favorite song is Hang Sang, but
that was the one.
Yeah, I absolutely love that song. It's so like I love it when people sing or rap in like a unique voice. I don't really know how to describe it well, but it's like,
I do. It's your Hongjoong vibe.
Kind of like that's what I was gonna say. It's like the whiny like Hyunjin voice, but like he does it as like when he's rapping, and I really love Hang Sang because it's like kind of got that in it, and like it's such like a good like the beat of it. I just love that song.
I love it. No, that was literally the song this morning. I was like, oh yeah, this one is like
Yeah.
a bop.
I really like Arson. Like that's like a song that got me way back then, and I love Hope World as well. I think the whole Hope World album is like a very very good album, and that's why I'm like bummed that you can't buy it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I like Daydream a lot
Mm.
from Hope World as well. And Airplane is good. On the Street is good.
I know.
There's so many good songs. It's great.
It's back on the level of like, again, you could tell that he really knows how to write music and put it together, because I'm like, this is, again, the top three are like what I assume are like the more producer group of BTS anyway, right? So Suga, J-Hope, and RM, like I envision them as like,
I mean, they're in the top 20 for credits.
right, that's right. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that they're my top three, because
yeah,
I appreciate someone that, like, yeah, again, nothing against someone that just sings or is just a ballad singer, but like I love them. I love all their music, and I can definitely, like you said, I would 100% buy Hope World if it was a real album.
I wish.
I could see myself buying Jack in the Box, also D-Day, RM's album. Like, I'm like, cool, here's all my money, guys. I will buy these albums.
More things to buy.
But sheesh, yeah, so not much more to say about J-Hope than he's king status. He's great, and like you said, he's touring right now. He's gonna drop a new single soon. Like, that's
also apparently one of the stops on the tour is gonna be live streamed. So
okay, that makes sense, because I've seen a bunch of memes of like, me can't wait to watch this live stream. It's like 4 pixels. And you're like, okay.
Apparently it's gonna be like an official one. That's what I've been seeing. So I mean, I'll sometime in April.
I'll pay $10 for a stream or whatever.
Yeah, I'm about to watch.
Yeah, I'll go watch. Okay, that's keep me posted.
Apparently sometime in April it's supposed to drop, but like I don't know how true that is, but let's see.
Oh, that'll be exciting. Yeah, I'll be
okay.
Wait, we're just close off J-Hope with we've seen he's on tour, and we've seen him do like BTS songs live.
Yeah.
He did Silver Spoon live. Like, oh man.
I know. The more, like, when he first announced his tour, and I was like, oh, I really would like to go, but like, it's fine. But now the more I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh man, he should have went. Should have at least tried. He does Mic Drop, and he does Silver Spoon. Come on.
Oh, I know, it's tough. It's tough out there for us fans. But yeah, so J-Hope, we love you. You're our top 3 for sure.
If you ever hear this.
If you ever hear this, J-Hope, we love you, of course. Okay, then next in line is Mr. Jimin.
Okay.
Jim. Sorry, bro.
Jim.
So his first single was in 2018, Promise. 5 years after debut. Doesn't have many albums. He had an EP called Face in 2023, and then album Muse in 2024, with a bunch of like remix releases, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, here's where we start getting into numbers for top songs on Spotify. This genuinely blew my mind, because I'll just say the numbers first. Okay, Who at 1.5 billion listens. Like Crazy, 1.3 billion listens. And then Set Me Free Part 2, 405,000.
Oh.
Yeah, drop off. A little bit of a drop off. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about the controversy with Jimin. No, it's not controversy, but some, like, professional music reviewers, quote unquote, seem to want to shit all over his music, which I don't really understand fully, because okay, first of all, look at the stats. As you've heard me talk about all these other artists, that's crazy. 1.5 billion listens. Clearly people love it. And yeah, do I think it's more BTS style songs? Yeah, well, people love BTS, so what's the problem? Like, I genuinely don't understand. And my personal assumption of why people maybe criticize him more is that we have like top hitters like RM, J-Hope, and Suga that are releasing like this very like I don't know, more artistic, maybe more composed music. So they hear Jimin and they go, well, you're just pushing out like
pop music,
artificial, more pop music, and you're like, okay, but like that's what he does. So like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's not like I genuinely like was like, of all the songs I listened to, maybe a bit of Jungkook too, these were the most bop-ish music that I would like just like play like outright and like have a good time listening to.
Yeah, to me it seemed like very like it was like well crafted pop music, and that's how I feel about Jungkook's album too. Like it's just well crafted pop music, so it's like you can't really go wrong if you drop a song like that. It's gonna be a hit, you know.
Mm.
And like to me, I think people just hate on that because of that reason. It's like he doesn't really have to put a ton of effort into marketing the song because it's going to be a hit anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And I also find him to be more of like I don't know him personally, but he seems like a kinder, like more gentle person. And you always feel like in a classic bullying situation, that's the people that people go for.
Yeah.
They go for people that are like that. So like
That's
that's
true.
my impression of why people would just want to shit on it, because they're like, well, it's a billion views and like for who? This guy? It's like, yeah, well, your girlfriend loves him, so
Yeah. And
sorry
your
about it.
Or your boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Maybe your
Like,
boyfriend.
whoever.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Jimin, okay?
Yeah, so I'm like, I think it's just people who are like hating on what they
Yeah,
can't
which
even
is like
fathom
so
having.
sad. Because like you said, Jim, he's such a.
He's an angel.
He seems like a lovely.
Leave him alone. Leave Britney alone.
Leave Jim alone. He seems like a sweet man that loves, just doing pop music and dancing. Okay, let him have it. And like I said, I put on these songs and I was like, oh, I love this. I love Who and I love Be Mine.
I think that he did some writing for this album too. Like I've seen a few reels and stuff where it was heavily implied that he was like helping to make the song. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, it's not like he just got slapped a song on.
Yeah.
Put some effort in.
I can imagine that for sure. And it's just like, and leave him alone. He's perfect human being.
Leave him alone. Yeah, I really like Who as well. I also really like Set Me Free Part 2, and I like Face Off.
Oh yeah, yes, I did enjoy Face Off too. Because didn't he like swear in that song?
Yeah.
I was like, Jimin.
Yeah. That was kind of wild. Like he did this like part where he like swears, and I was like, whoa.
I know. I was like,
whoa,
Jimin,
okay.
who is this? Exactly. Which I kind of liked. Yeah, he was like kind of like partially breaking this like clean boy
it's not
attitude.
Like perfect pristine pop music. It's like, you know, kind of maybe a little
edgy for Jim. Yes, it has the explicit logo next to it on on Spotify. But yeah, I have no real issues with Jimin's music.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, some of it, you know, more status quo pop. But
yeah, there were some areas where I thought maybe it was like a little produced or like a little tuned, but it also like flowed in the songs for me. Like I was like not like, oh, he phoned that part in. I was like, that's just like part of the vibe.
Yeah, and yeah.
That being said, he's in the number 4 bracket for me.
Yeah, he's my number 5. So far it is Suga, RM, J-Hope, blank. Jimin, Jin, blank. So
I think I know how you're.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say you probably figured it out already, but that's okay.
Which is sad. Makes me sad.
No, stop. I knew we were going to differ on this one. I knew we were going to be different on V. So V is next. And his first solo, again, is the same one as Jin. They were together. It's Definitely You, Horang Part 2, OST 2016. His albums are 2 EPs, Layover in 2023 and Friends EP 2024. This did blow me away, though. His top song has also 1 billion listens. Love Me Again. And then Friends is 472,000. Christmas Tree.
Yeah, he has a lot of Christmas songs.
He's got a lot, which I can appreciate. I love
it.
436,000. That's, yes, V's voice is perfect for Christmas jazzy music. So
what I would say is like, to me, he's like kind of reminded me of like a crooner, like like that's why it kind of fits the Christmas music, like the Bing Crosby, like that kind of like Sinatra vibe. Which so I loved his album because I was like the vibe is crazy. Like to be fair, like it's not something I would just like put on and listen to. I have to be in the mood for that. But I was just like, his voice was like so incredible to me.
So my comments were, it's sleepy to me. It's like sleepy music, but it's smooth, sultry, slow R&B is what I put for him. Just usually not my vibe. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that it's not.
That's the only reason it's number 7.
It's like in my number 3, I have 2. I mean, obviously the last 2 people are tied
Yeah,
at
you
number 3
didn't
for me.
commit like I did, okay? You did not commit to this list.
I mean, if I'm looking at the way my list is written, he's in the number 3 slot.
Okay. I mean, again, it's
just because I was so impressed. Like I said, I wouldn't really listen to it like randomly. I would set out to listen to it if I wanted to listen to it. I was just so impressed by like how smooth and beautiful his voice was.
Again, if you're like, I don't normally listen to this type of singer unless it's Christmas time, so that's where it's like, it just doesn't travel for me that well. For me, my top songs for him were Slow Dancing, his piano version, because there's a gorgeous, I think, like, flute solo or something. I was like, this is stunning. And then Friends, and then Snowflower was a nice little Christmassy song.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to his Christmas music, so...
No, I didn't listen to it either. It's not time.
And, okay, I will say, give him credit, though. One of my favorite album covers, his little doggo.
Yeah. He's one I'd like to buy that album, I think, eventually.
Oh, perfect.
Because it's cute. I mean, I liked it as a whole, as a package. And then
you're guaranteed that V photo card.
And that. But yeah, I also really liked Friends and Slow Dancing, and I like Love Me Again, too. I think it's a good song.
Yeah, I'd have to he's probably one that might I mean, you know what? It's fine. I made my decision.
Yeah, now you have to live with it.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, for me, it's mostly just wasn't really my vibe, but I understood, made sense with his voice for sure. And again, I don't know if he wrote some of this music or if it was just...
I'm not sure about. In thinking about like how earlier we were talking about when they come back together, like that album made me the most interested to see like how is he going, because he does have a voice like that in some songs, but it's not like that prevalent to me. So I'm curious how, like, will they weave that in more and make it more like sultry songs?
That's true. One of my absolute favorite songs, though, of BTS is a V solo, Singularity. That's like one of the most gorgeous, like, sexy songs too. Like, I'm just like, huh? And he's in this more sultry, slow, and I'm just like, okay, this is insane. But yeah, I always am surprised when I hear him in BTS songs more on like a higher end, because he could also sing. Yeah, I do appreciate that part of, like, I love his lower range, of course.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sums up V, though.
Tragic.
So he's up there with probably... I knew we were going to disagree or not be the same on this one. Okay, now we're going into our last little Magni, Jungkook. So he first released his first single, Still With You, in 2020, 7 years after debut, which I was like, oh, that seems quite long. And I was like, well, he was literally like 16 when they debuted. Yeah. So.
It seems like a lot of them have released some sort of single in 2020. Like I said, it's just like another COVID thing. Just need something to do.
And then he only has one album, but what an album. Golden in 2023. And this guy, he has the top song of all of them by listens, 7. Yeah. Featuring Lado explicit version. 2.2 billion listens. Left and Right is, I guess, the song he featured on. It's 1 billion views. Then 3D featuring Jack Harlow is 813,000 listens. My biggest comment with why I think his album was so, like, popular was because he sung a lot in English. So I think a lot of North American, and he featured with a lot of North American artists as well. So I think he got a lot more traction in the North American crowd than some of the other albums of people on here. So that's why and it's great dance music, and it's horny, so horny, all of his music. So he's got all the girlies and the gays going crazy, because some of this music I was like, what is happening? Like, okay, so you started listening to him before I did, and like before I think even decided to do this episode, and you sent me one of his songs, 7, and I was like, oh my god, I have actually heard this song before and had no idea it was Jungkook too. Like, it was just like out, like you said, it was just like out there, like people just, Jungkook was just like a solo artist that people knew in North America, and I was like, what? That is crazy to me.
I think that's the song that like went straight to like number 1 on them. So it was like literally so popular, and like it's to your point, like it's pretty much all in English. And like, again, it's similar to like the Jimin stuff. To me, it's just like perfectly crafted pop music. So it's like you can't put that song out and it's not gonna be like number 1.
And it's like way too sexy. Like, his music is.
I mean, the explicit version rocked me. Like, I was like literally like think I was listening to the album and I was like taking a nap at the same time, and the song came on and I like shot awake because I was like, did I just hear that? And like I like walked me right out of my nap, and I was like, and then I think I sent it to you. That's when I sent it to you because I was like,
Right.
I don't know what I just heard.
Yeah, that was the most shocking thing I think too. With it, forget that it was BTS and they, whatever. Like any pop star that would sing that song. So okay, basically, he sings the whole week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, and it's "I'll be fucking you right." That's insane. That's
Night after night.
Night after. That's an insane lyric to sing.
Yeah,
to
I like
anybody.
just thinking of like listening and thinking like, oh, little Maknae Jungkook, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "I'll be fucking you right." I was like, "Excuse me? What did you just say?" I think I said it to my other friend too, and I was like, "This song just like rocked me," and she was like, "Yeah, when it came out, the people lost it," and I was like, "What the hell? What am I listening to?"
Yeah, like even
It's so jarring to me that I choose to listen to the clean version.
yeah.
Because I like when I hear the explicit version, I'm just like, I can't even like I can't go about my
I
day.
couldn't believe it. I know. I was shocked. I was like, boy, young man, you can't be saying
Yeah.
this out here. Even "Loving You Right" is like kind of like crazy
Yeah.
too. Like it's way easier to listen to, but that's what I was thinking. Forget, that he's from BTS. Like any artist that would go and say that is like
Yeah.
pretty bold song to put out there.
And then, like you said, like the whole album's kind of horny because
It's
3D
so
is
horny.
also
3D.
like
I know. I was
pretty.
I was listening to this. Yeah, that's. I was like, what are we talking about here? And like, I don't know Jack Harlow's music, but I feel like he's a similar like player boy vibe-ish music. I don't know, but I think that's it. So like, even that he's in it, and they're all like, they're singing about like, oh, I want like so many women. I was like, the hell is going on? I was so shocked by that. I was not fully expecting what that ride but I do love a lot of the songs on the album.
Yeah, like I thought, like I don't know if I really ever got into like full pop albums, but listening to it, I was like, wow, this is like a really solid like jams album. Like you could just play this album at a party like without putting any thought into like order. You could just play it, put it on,
Totally.
and it would be like good.
Totally. Yeah. So because some of the other people he had. Jack Harlow, but then he also had some pretty big DJs doing his music too. He had Major Lazer and DJ Snake.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he had like a lot of like North American producers too.
They had Usher also.
Oh, Usher remix, girl. That's right.
Yeah, Usher remix.
Okay, that's a funny story too. When we.
I think it was after our last recording, we started watching some music videos, and you were like, all right, I'm gonna go now. And I was like, oh, let's watch this one. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go now. And I was like, wait, there's a video of Jungkook and Usher? And you were like, no. And I just played it, and we were both like, oh, it is him.
And well, we were surprised, like, because, some of these, that's the other thing too, actually, when a lot of these music videos he did, I think he must have just been in LA, because he had so many, like, I think he was with Jack Harlow, I think he was with,
Yeah, they're, like, in the videos.
They're, like, physically in the video space with them, and that's what, when we were watching, I was like, there's no way it's
we're like,
Usher.
oh, surely they're not in this together.
They're not, no way. Like, Usher probably just did, like, a verse and a different, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, he literally comes on screen, and they're, like, interacting with each other, I was like,
yeah, they're doing, like, the dance together.
and then at the end, it's, like, cute, like, oh, hey, man, like, we're like, oh, my God, they're, like, kibitzy.
Yeah,
like,
they're
I'm like,
literally there together.
We were, like, blowing our mind, because for you and me, Usher was, like, a huge icon.
Yeah, we love Usher.
Yeah, we love an Usher song. So, I blew both our minds. We were like, I don't know what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
I don't, and I still can't process that, so... Yeah, he's worked with massive people. It's like, again, our sweet baby Magna. He's like doing great things out there. I love it for him,
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the album. He's my number 4.
Yeah, I mean, he's tied in 3rd for me, but he's in the number 4 slot, I guess.
Okay.
But it's like it's just those things, like whatever mood I'm in, they're gonna move around.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 2 are always gonna be there. Like Augusty and J-Hope are always top 2, but the other 5 kind of like shuffle
how
around
convenient. The ones you actually have bought physical albums for.
Yeah, because they're the top. But I do want to get Golden, and I
Me
want to get
too.
Layover. So my number 3s will also be purchased.
I know, I do. I know, there's like so many albums I need to buy now, and I'm like, great. I love that.
But what are your top JK songs?
7, I mean,
Yeah, I put 7 in 3D. I was like, those are obviously there.
it's explicit only. I liked Please Don't Change. I liked Shot Glass of Tears. I liked Yes or No.
Yeah, I liked Yes or No as well.
Mm.
I like Standing Next to You.
Thanks. Yeah, that one's a billion listens too. So, I mean, that's that. And that wraps up the BTS solos. I mean, it was an insane ride I wasn't expecting.
Very interesting, like, as one group that all have, like, kind of different albums.
Exactly. That's where and it makes sense, again, when you think about it. When you want a group of 7, you kind of want them to all be unique and their approaches, like,
it's interesting to see them like laid out so clearly like this, so that now when we think about them coming back and like blending all these together.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, listening to all the solo stuff was great. It gives you this different perspective on the overall music. So
yeah.
But okay, so let's go back and go through the list. So for my actual ranked list, August D, Suga, RM, J-Hope, Jungkook, Jimin, Jin, V.
If I'm going in order that I wrote them, it's August D, J-Hope, V, Jungkook, RM, Jimin, Jin.
Okay, yeah, we're pretty close.
I mean, yeah, you just slid V down.
Yeah, we just flip off a bit. But yeah, like you said, they're all so unique in their approach that
I feel like if you ask me 4 months from now, it'll be a different order.
Yeah,
like
totally,
the bottom
could
5
be.
will be different.
Yeah, it's totally.
Because there's sometimes I listen to like the Jimin stuff and I'm like, oh, I really love it, and like I was like, maybe I'll put this higher, but I'm like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll put this one higher. But I had JK in the top 3 spot for a while, but
yeah,
I just really loved V's album, so I was like,
And who knows if they like come out with more solo work too.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be totally different.
Yeah, who knows? Oh my god.
I know, post-military Jungkook. I'm actually post-military V.
Oh girl, we can't even stop. Stop.
How is he gonna sing like that when he's looking the way he looks right now?
We can't even get into that topic because he has beefed the hell out. I don't even know what
That's actually like what's really like blowing my mind for comeback era. I'm like, how is he gonna like integrate back into the group looking the way he looks right now? Yeah.
Just be buff dancing.
I really like, I can't wait to see them like interact and like comment on it and be like, what happened to you? Who are you?
And like all of them be like in that status in like suits. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. So anyway,
can he even fit in a suit? Man's popping out of those shirts. The pictures I've seen, he's busting out of those.
Yeah, he's gonna get tailored suits.
He doesn't need to. Just wear the old suits.
Yeah, just bust out. Boom.
It's too much.
Okay, I think we've talked enough about BTS solos. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Let us know your thoughts down below. What is your order? And we'll catch you on the next slide. The next flippy slide. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.